Urgency is the driving force behind progress, innovation, and success. It is the mindset that separates those who take immediate, decisive action from those who hesitate and miss opportunities. When people hear the word urgency, they often associate it with stress, panic, or rushed decisions. However, true urgency is not about chaos. It is about focus, determination, and an unwavering commitment to achieving a goal within a set time frame. It is the fuel that turns ideas into action and pushes individuals and organizations to accomplish what might otherwise seem impossible. The difference between urgency and panic lies in control. Panic is reactionary. It clouds judgment and leads to mistakes. Urgency, on the other hand, is strategic. It is a conscious decision to act with purpose and intention, ensuring that every step taken is meaningful and productive. When urgency is embraced, it eliminates procrastination and replaces it with a sense of responsibility. Those who operate with urgency do not wait for the perfect moment because they understand that waiting often leads to stagnation. They recognize that every second wasted is an opportunity lost. One of the biggest challenges in creating urgency is overcoming complacency. Complacency is the silent killer of progress. It lulls people into a false sense of security, making them believe that things will work themselves out or that there is always more time. This mindset leads to missed deadlines, wasted potential, and ultimately failure. The most successful individuals and teams do not wait until they are forced to act. They move proactively, anticipating challenges and addressing them before they become obstacles. Creating urgency starts with a clear vision and purpose. When people understand the reason behind their actions, they become more motivated to move quickly. A goal without urgency remains just a dream, but a goal with a deadline becomes a mission. Think about some of the greatest innovations in history. Many of them were driven by a need for immediate action. Whether it was a breakthrough in technology, a life-saving medical discovery, or a revolutionary business idea, urgency played a crucial role in making it happen. Without it, progress would have been delayed and opportunities would have been lost. Urgency also creates momentum. Once action begins, it becomes easier to keep moving forward. It builds energy, enthusiasm, and commitment, making it more likely that people will push through challenges rather than retreat when things get tough. This is why leaders who instill urgency in their teams often see better results. They set high expectations, encourage quick decision-making, and create an environment where action is not just encouraged, but expected. They understand that urgency must be a part of the culture, not something that is activated only in times of crisis. However, urgency is not about rushing without purpose. It is about being intentional, disciplined, and focused. It is about recognizing the value of time and making every moment count. It requires a shift in mindset, from believing that there is always another chance to understanding that the opportunity in front of you may not come again. When urgency becomes a habit, success becomes inevitable. The time to act is now. People move faster and with greater determination when they understand why their actions matter. A sense of urgency cannot exist in a vacuum. It needs a clear vision and a strong purpose to give it meaning. Without this, urgency can feel forced or even unnecessary. But when individuals see the bigger picture and recognize the impact of their efforts, urgency becomes a natural response. It shifts from being an external pressure to an internal drive, fueling motivation and pushing people to take action without hesitation. A compelling vision creates clarity. It answers the fundamental questions. What are we trying to achieve? Why is it important? What happens if we don't act now? When these questions are left unanswered, people struggle to find direction. They may work hard, but without a clear purpose, their efforts lack focus. Urgency thrives when there is a well-defined goal that people can rally behind, something that makes them feel their actions have real significance. It transforms work from a series of tasks into a mission that demands immediate and committed effort. One of the biggest obstacles to urgency is uncertainty. When people do not know what they are working toward or how their contributions fit into the bigger picture, they hesitate. They delay decisions, second-guess their actions, and lose momentum. This is why communication is essential. Leaders must articulate not only the end goal, but also the consequences of inaction. What is at stake? What opportunities will be lost if action is delayed? The more people understand the cost of waiting, the more likely they are to act now rather than later. A powerful vision also sparks emotional engagement. Facts and figures can inform people, but emotions drive them. When urgency is tied to a purpose that resonates on a deeper level, it creates a stronger commitment. Consider moments in history where urgency led to extraordinary achievements. Scientists racing to develop life-saving treatments, businesses pivoting rapidly to seize market opportunities, or social movements pushing for change in the face of resistance. In each case, urgency was not just about meeting deadlines, it was about making a difference. When people feel that their work matters, they push harder, think faster, and refuse to settle for delays. However, urgency does not mean rushing without strategy. It must be paired with clear priorities to ensure that energy is directed toward the right actions. A vision without focus can lead to scattered efforts, where people feel busy but accomplish little. This is why urgency must be accompanied by structure, defined goals, actionable steps, and measurable progress. It is not about doing everything at once, but about doing the most important things right now. Leaders play a critical role in sustaining urgency. They must continuously reinforce the vision, remind people of the purpose, and keep the momentum alive. It is not enough to create urgency in a single moment. It must be nurtured daily. By consistently communicating the mission, eliminating distractions, and holding people accountable, they ensure that urgency does not fade into complacency. When purpose and urgency align, action becomes unstoppable. One of the greatest threats to progress is not failure, but complacency. It is easy to assume that things will work themselves out, that there is always more time, or that someone else will step up and take action. Complacency is a silent force that slows momentum, weakens motivation, and creates a false sense of security. It convinces people that good enough is acceptable and that urgency is unnecessary. But in reality, every moment of inaction is a missed opportunity. To create real urgency, complacency must be eliminated, and a culture of proactive thinking must take its place. Complacency often creeps in when past successes create a mindset of comfort. When things are going well, it is tempting to believe that they will always continue that way. This is when teams and individuals start to relax, take fewer risks, and lose the hunger that once drove them. But the world does not stand still. Competition grows, challenges evolve, and opportunities disappear. Those who wait too long to act find themselves falling behind. Urgency is what prevents this decline. It pushes people to keep striving, to keep questioning, and to keep looking for ways to improve rather than settle. One of the biggest signs of complacency is when people start making excuses for why things cannot be done faster or why change is not necessary. They say, "This is how we've always done it," or "There's no rush." These statements kill momentum before it even begins. Breaking free from this mindset requires a shift in perspective. Instead of thinking, "Do we have to do this now?" the question should be, "What happens if we don't?" This is how we should do this now. The question should be, what happens if we don't? The consequences of inaction must be made clear. When people understand the risks of delay, lost opportunities, declining performance, or falling behind competitors, they are far more likely to embrace urgency. Another way to eliminate complacency is to set ambitious yet realistic challenges. When people have no sense of urgency, it is often because they do not feel truly challenged. They are comfortable in routine, following the same patterns without questioning whether they could do more. By setting clear expectations, introducing new goals, and encouraging innovation, urgency becomes a natural response. People begin to see every task as an opportunity to improve rather than just another item on a checklist. Leadership also plays a crucial role in dismantling complacency. When leaders demonstrate urgency in their own actions, it sends a powerful message. A leader who is engaged, decisive, and constantly looking for ways to improve creates a culture where urgency is the norm. On the other hand, leaders who tolerate delays, accept excuses, or fail to hold people accountable contribute to an environment where complacency thrives. The tone must be set from the top, reinforcing that urgency is not just an occasional push, but a daily expectation. Ultimately, eliminating complacency is about changing mindsets. It is about shifting from passive waiting to active pursuit, from assuming time is unlimited to recognizing that every moment matters. Urgency is not just about speed, it is about purpose, discipline, and the refusal to accept mediocrity. Those who act with urgency are the ones who shape the future, while those who remain complacent are left behind. The choice is simple. Urgency without structure leads to chaos. It is not enough to simply push people to act quickly. They must have clear, actionable steps that guide their efforts. One of the most effective ways to create and sustain urgency is by setting short, achievable deadlines. These deadlines provide a sense of direction, turning abstract goals into concrete targets that demand immediate attention. Without them, urgency fades, replaced by hesitation, distraction, and ultimately inaction. When a task feels too big or distant, people often struggle to find the motivation to start. They assume they have plenty of time, leading to procrastination and delays. However, when a deadline is near and clearly defined, action becomes a priority. It forces people to focus, make decisions faster, and eliminate unnecessary distractions. A project with a one-year timeline can feel overwhelming, but breaking it down into smaller milestones, a weekly or even daily, creates momentum. Each completed step fuels the next, making the overall goal feel more attainable. Short deadlines also help overcome complacency. When there is no immediate pressure, it is easy to delay action. People convince themselves that they can start tomorrow, next week, or next month. But when a deadline is looming, that excuse disappears. The urgency becomes real, and with it comes a heightened sense of responsibility. This shift in mindset is crucial in environments where speed and adaptability determine success. Whether in business, personal growth, or innovation, those who act quickly gain a competitive edge, while those who hesitate risk falling behind. However, deadlines must be meaningful. Setting arbitrary time limits without a clear reason can create frustration rather than urgency. People must understand why a deadline exists and how it contributes to the bigger picture. When deadlines are tied to a compelling vision, they become more than just time constraints. They become milestones that mark progress. They create a sense of accomplishment, showing individuals and teams that their efforts are making a difference. Another key benefit of short deadlines is that they encourage efficiency. When people have limited time to complete a task, they are forced to prioritize. They cut out unnecessary steps, streamline processes, and focus only on what truly matters. This not only speeds up execution, but also improves the quality of work. Instead of overanalyzing or getting stuck in endless revisions, people learn to make decisions quickly and effectively. This ability to move fast while maintaining high standards is what separates high-performing teams from those that struggle to keep up. Leaders play a crucial role in setting and reinforcing deadlines. They must create an environment where urgency is balanced with clarity. If deadlines are unrealistic, people become discouraged. If they are too lenient, urgency disappears. The key is to find the right balance. Deadlines that challenge people without overwhelming them. Consistently meeting short deadlines builds confidence and reinforces the habit of acting with urgency. Urgency thrives on momentum. When people see progress, they are motivated to keep pushing forward. Short deadlines create a continuous cycle of action, reinforcing the mindset that there is no time to wait. The sooner action begins, the sooner results follow. Urgency is not something that can be demanded, it must be demonstrated. People take their cues from those around them, especially from leaders. If urgency is expected, it must first be embodied. A leader who moves with purpose, makes decisions quickly, and takes immediate action creates an environment where urgency is the norm rather than the exception. On the other hand, if leaders hesitate, delay, or tolerate complacency, they send the message that urgency is not truly important. People will not act with urgency if they do not see it in the actions of those guiding them. Leading by example means setting the tone in every aspect of work and decision-making. It means eliminating unnecessary delays, addressing issues promptly, and maintaining a high level of energy and focus. When leaders respond to challenges immediately, instead of waiting for the perfect moment, they show that waiting is not an option. They make it clear that problems must be solved as they arise, not when they become unavoidable crises. This mindset encourages others to take initiative rather than waiting for permission or external pressure to act. Beyond just working quickly, a leader who embodies urgency also communicates with clarity and decisiveness. Unclear direction creates hesitation, and hesitation kills urgency. When people do not know what is expected of them or where they are headed, they naturally slow down. Leaders must ensure that expectations, goals, and priorities are communicated effectively and consistently. They must reinforce the idea that speed does not mean carelessness, but rather a commitment to forward progress. Decisions should be made with confidence and executed without unnecessary delay, creating an atmosphere where action is valued over endless discussion. Accountability is another critical part of leading with urgency. If people see that delays go unnoticed or that lack of urgency carries no consequences, they will not change their behavior. A leader who holds themselves and others accountable ensures that urgency is more than just a slogan. It becomes a standard. This does not mean creating a culture of fear or pressure, but rather fostering an environment where deadlines are respected, goals are met, and results are expected. People perform at their best when they know their contributions matter and that their efforts are both recognized and necessary. At the same time, urgency must be balanced with a sense of purpose. A leader who simply rushes without direction will not inspire urgency in others. People need to see that urgency serves a meaningful goal. They need to understand why acting quickly is important and what impact it will have. When urgency is tied to a clear mission, it becomes a source of motivation rather than stress. A leader who connects urgency to purpose creates a team that moves not just fast, but with intention and passion. People naturally mirror the behaviors of those they look up to. A team that sees its leader moving with urgency will adopt that same energy. When urgency is consistently demonstrated through action, it no longer needs to be forced. It becomes a way of thinking, a habit, a culture. The best way to inspire urgency in others is to live it every single day. Urgency is not just about working fast. It is about sustaining momentum and ensuring that efforts lead to meaningful results. One of the most effective ways to maintain urgency is through accountability and recognition. When people know their actions are being measured and that their contributions matter, they are far more likely to stay engaged, focused, and committed to moving forward. Without accountability, urgency fades, replaced by complacency and a sense that deadlines and expectations are flexible. To create an environment where urgency thrives, there must be clear systems in place to track progress, hold individuals responsible, and celebrate achievements along the way.